I'm Chas from Chas's Crazy Creations, and you were watching Hometalk.
The first thing you'll want to do is change your light bulbs. The next thing you're going to want to do is measure the length, the height, and the depth.
Now you can use a lot of materials for this project, but I'm going to be starting with a piece of foam core board. So the first thing I need to do is measure it out. So my fixture was 5 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and go up to 8 inches. So I'm going to mark that out on both sides of my foam core board, and I'm going to go ahead and do that twice. Next, I need to match up the lines and draw a line across. Next, I'm going to take a razor blade and go ahead and cut the line with the razor blade. Now you could use something else, like if you're more comfortable with the scissors, then you go ahead and use the scissors or anything that you're comfortable with using to cut these lines. Now that the 3 pieces are cut, I need to go ahead and measure the first one. This is the front. So my light fixture measured at 18 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and go up a little bit to 22 inches. And I'm going to mark that twice. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the line up and down. And then I'll be cutting this one here. On this next piece, this is going to be the sides. So I measured 6 inches and I'm going to go up to 7 inches. And then I'm going to make a line up and down for these as well, so I can cut them here. Like so. Now go ahead and cut those. Okay, and lastly, I have a little scrap here, and I need to measure that, make sure it's still 8 inches, which it is. And then I need to mark 1-inch spots twice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to make the lines here as well that match up. I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. So at this point, this is what it looks like. The front, 2 sides, and then these will help us attach it to the wall without putting any nails or screws into the wall. So next we're going to be talking about the fabric we'll be putting on top of our valance. And you could use wallpaper, contact paper, fabric, anything that speaks to you. Now, depending upon the fabric you used, you'll probably want to iron it if it has any creases, just to give you a flat surface to work with. You also may want to wash your fabric first. So I've got my front piece here, my 2 sides right here. I want plenty of room on the top, plenty of the room on the sides, and plenty of room on the bottom. So now I'm going to use a fabric scissors, and I'm going to cut all the way around with the extra room. So to assemble this project, I'm going to start by putting a generous amount of hot glue right along the edge of the front piece. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is take the side piece and place it right on top. Make sure I get it lined up. And then I want to wait till this cools and becomes solid. Now that the sides have set up, I'm going to give them a little extra amount generously in this corner to reinforce it. I'm going to do that on both sides. Now that the sides are all reinforced, it's time to assemble the part that attaches to the wall. So I'm going to put a generous amount of hot glue right here on top. And then I'm going to place this piece that attaches to the wall right on top. I'm going to wait for that to cool. And then again, I want to make sure it's nice and sturdy, so I'll reinforce the outside and the crease on the inside before moving on. Okay, so I've placed the form onto the fabric, and I'm going to start with the sides. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay put some hot glue generously up here on this flat piece right here and lay it on the hot glue. So I want to make sure I've got it nice and flat. So again, placing a generous amount of hot glue across the top, pulling it nice and tight, placing it in. Not too tight that everything falls apart, but just getting it nice and straight. I'm going to place a little bit of hot glue just right there. Now you can work in whatever sections you want, but I'm going to place my first piece of hot glue right there, and I'm going to give it a little bit more down closer to the edge. You can always trim off the excess. If you want less, just start gluing it and trim it up. And then again, I will go the bottom and the sides and get everything attached and solid. Okay, so sometimes we can't use permanent things in our house, or we don't want to. So I'm going to be using these picture frame holders. I actually got these strips at the dollar store. They work like Velcro or hook and loop fastener, and you stick them together like so, and you press really hard so that they're all solid. And then one side goes to the wall and one side goes to the valance. So I'm going to do 2 of these like so, and then I'm going to place them here. But again, I'd like to reinforce it, so I'm just going to go with a lot of glue here to help it out, and I'm going to stick that right here on the back and let that solidify. And then I'm going to do that to the other one as well. Peel off the sticky back, give it a lot of hot glue, and then stick it. Actually, I'll flip this one around this way.
Now I place the valance against the wall, centering it up. I'll be able to fix my crooked light in here. It'll be an illusion that it's straight. So I just hold it for the instructions on the package, and it's ready to go. Here it is in our bathroom, and I'm thrilled with how it turned out. Again, I'm Chas from Chas's Crazy Creations. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and I'll see you next time.